Welcome back to the CharCole Podcast. I'm Cole Larsh, joined by Charlie Preen and Dawson Gerlach. Today we're on episode 8, and let's get right into it.
Today's first topic before we let Dawson go here. Dawson's going to do the first topic, which is last week's college football picks and locks and upsets, a little bit of a difference in standings this week, so it'll be kind of fun to do this in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be going over this. I had number 10 ranked Notre Dame over 18 ranked Virginia for my lock, and the upset I picked didn't go as how I wanted to go, but I had unranked Rutgers over number 20 ranked Michigan, and Cole had number 6 ranked Oklahoma over unranked Texas Tech for his lock. And he got that one right, but on his upset he didn't pick the right one. But we weren't thinking that was going to be the outcome of that game. But it was 18 ranked Virginia over 10 ranked number 10 Notre Dame. And Charlie had 14 ranked Iowa over unranked Middle Tennessee. And he was correct on that one. All the locks were correct. I'll just stop saying that now. But his upset was correct too. He had unranked Oklahoma State over 24 ranked Kansas State. Mr. Denning, 14 ranked over Iowa, unranked Middle Tennessee. That was his lock. And he had Minnesota over Purdue. And they were both unranked. But Mr. Schaefer had 9 ranked Florida over unranked Towson. And his upset was Hawaii over Nevada, and they were both correct, as were Mr. Denning's. Mr. Hetland had number 9 ranked Florida over unranked Towson, and his upset was unranked Maryland over number 12 ranked Penn State. And finally, Mr. Christensen had number 8 ranked Wisconsin over unranked Northwestern, and unranked Washington State over 19 ranked Utah. And that was incorrect, as was Mr. Hetland's upset.
So before we go to the next segment here, the overall standings after, which this would be week 5 going into,
Yes, this
right?
would be
This would be week 5.
Our third week.
Yep, our third week. I am in the lead right now. I am 5-1. Cole Larsh, Dawson Gerlach, Mr. Denning, Mr. Schaefer are 4-2. Mr. Christensen is in the third spot at 3-3, and in last place is Mr. Hetland at 2-4.
Yep. Last week really hurt him. He went 0 for 2.
Yeah, it didn't really help
picks,
his cause
so
there.
That's where he is. So thank you for that, Dawson. We'll get right into the next topic.
Sweet. All right, I'm gonna move.
And thank you, Dawson, for that. He has now moved back behind the camera. And our next topic we're going to do is the Wheel Decide. We have a very full wheel of topics and about 15 minutes, so let's get right into it.
Alrighty, here we go. This is our second time doing this. We thought our first one was kind of fun, so we added on to this, and let's see what we can get. Our first topic will be preseason pick. Who is your pick for the college basketball champion this year?
College basketball. Oofda. That'd be the one thing I really don't follow the most.
It's a mood right now that's not really in swing because obviously football season.
Yeah, obviously football season.
I mean, I can go first here because, I mean, I like Duke Blue Devils, and I've seen what they did in the offseason. I mean, Krzyzewski always puts out a good team at Duke, and it's fun to watch him do what he does with the freshmen he gets. And, I mean, Cassius Stanley, he's going to be one of the freshmen that sticks out at Duke. Trey Jones, he's probably the best college basketball player this year. He could have went into the draft last year, but he decided to stay another year and really get more coaching from what probably is the best coach in the world.
I think so. I do think so. I'm also going to have to go with that just based on the fact that the coach, he always puts out a good team, and the high level of freshmen that they get that are super talented, it just puts them a step above everyone else. And if he can get those freshmen in the right mind to start off the year, I think they're going to be good every year.
So our next one on the wheel will be, will the Browns rebound this year?
Like rebound from last year or rebound from their start?
From their start.
Okay, so they talked a lot about how they were going to be good, and now they're kind of dug themselves into a little bit of a hole here. I'm not saying their team is bad. They have the players.
They do.
I just don't understand what's going wrong, to be honest. I mean,
Okay, before we get more into this topic, I would like to note that I did make this before last Sunday. This topic before last Sunday, because last Sunday they went they kind of took the Ravens down.
Yeah, they did.
In every way possible.
That was a good game.
Lamar Jackson really didn't have a good game. Defensively, they played good too. So one of the biggest things I think the Browns need to find out is the coaching standpoint. I mean, Freddie Kitchens there for the Browns. He's a good coach, and I think if you give him time, he'll be pretty good.
I do think so too. Again, that they were not doing too hot. Then they went into Baltimore and they played good.
Surprised the whole league, really.
But the week before that, we did have a topic on here about their play calling. The week before that, you get 4th and 9, and you run a draw. You get 1st and goal on the 5, and you run 4 pass plays and you don't score. So there's a couple of issues there, just small issues. I think once they get them all fixed, they're gonna be a good team.
And they did this week. I mean, if
Yeah.
you think about it this way, Nick Chubb had a crazy week.
Yep.
I mean, overall, I think he led the league in rushing yards last week.
I think he might have. So
he had a crazy good week.
I think if you give them time this year, they're gonna get better. But if I really had to pick, I'd have to say next year would be their year.
Next year probably is.
I do think so. Once they get everything figured out this year, I do think next year.
I did see a stat line before we head to the next topic here that if the Browns win on Sunday, it would be the first time they had a winning record since 1972, I believe. So
Wow.
do that math.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is.
That's all I'm going to say about
Yeah.
that.
Alrighty, so the next one is, if the college football playoffs started today, who's your top 4?
My top 4. Alabama, for obvious reasons.
Yep.
I think Oklahoma.
Yep.
Ohio State, because they're a good team. Nebraska made it look really good, but Ohio State. And I don't know who I'm going to have at my 4, because I don't know if we have this as a topic. I think we do, but
Yeah, we do. I think I was going to say.
I don't know what they've been doing this year, but you cannot tell me that UNC is that good at football.
Yes. Okay, by this he means that Clemson's not good this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so, they're not bad as a team.
They're not bad as a team.
But if you think about it last year, three defensive linemen went in the first round for them.
Yeah.
So they lost their whole defensive line except their one defensive end, which this year stands out because he's a crazy good player, and he got to work last year with 3 NFL top-tier players. If you think about it,
they lost a lot of talent.
They did, but they kept Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. They still have offensively they have 2 good players, but defensively is where they're going to struggle throughout the year.
Yeah.
That's where they need to build and go from here to here every week.
Yep. So I don't know who I want to round up my top 4. That's just a toss-up. I think those 3 teams are, unless one of those teams falls off, I think they're going to be the top 3. But then that number 4 seed could be anywhere. Could be anyone.
You want to know? Here's what I think. I got Bama at 1. I think Clemson will rebound and take a 3 spot. I believe Auburn will probably end up being the 2. If you think
they're
about
a good team. They're a good
and
team
then for the Big Ten, it's toss-up. Ohio State plays good, but they haven't played anybody too great. Nebraska isn't great. You know that.
Yeah, I do know that. I was 85 rows up in the end zone watching them lose by 40. So.
And you see how good Justin Fields is.
He's good.
He's a good player. But here's my take from it. Whoever wins the Big Ten championship this year will be in the college football playoff. Wisconsin is now the 8th seed. Wisconsin could beat Ohio State, and there's a chance they could be in the 4th spot.
It is, yeah.
That's how I see it. But, no, my top 4 is Bama, Auburn. It's not in particular order. Bama, Auburn, a Big Ten team, not in particular one of them. Before the year started, everyone thought it'd be Michigan. And where they ended up, they're 20. They're like 19 now.
Yeah, so they're down there.
And obviously Clemson, I think they'll rebound. So them are my top 4.
Okay.
Next one. Alrighty. Alright, Gardner Minshew, is he now the face of the Jaguars?
It's hard to say no. You
No.
see him everywhere you go. He's meeting Uncle Rico, and he's got to be. I think 100%.
I think he is too, and this is kind of more of a funny topic than it is a serious college football debate like the last one.
Yeah.
But the Jaguars are really bad.
yes, they are.
They used to have a decent defense. Everything's falling apart. Jalen Ramsey doesn't want to play for him anymore. I mean, there's really no point for Gardner Minshew to not be the face of the league or face of the Jags.
It's hard not, like, they're finally having somebody show up and play decent.
And it's getting them fans to show up to the game to watch this guy.
They're filling the stadium just to watch him. So I mean, he has to be the face of their team.
He is, and I mean, it's just a funny thing too, because they're making money off of him.
Yeah.
And he's happy about it, and he's just a good guy overall.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
Our next topic there. Oh, we already did that one.
Yeah, that one.
We might get that once in a while. Dak Prescott, can he lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl? Sorry about the yelling. I'm not sure what just happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening in the classroom behind us, but
yeah.
My take on this. I follow a podcast, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Occasionally I watch the show, but mainly I listen to the podcast. And one of them's a Cowboys fan, and one of them is not a Cowboys fan. One of them is an Eagles fan. And I've heard both ways of this, but I'm going to have to say no. Because what teams are doing to the Cowboys defensively is stopping Ezekiel Elliott. Interesting stat line I heard. Dak Prescott is 1-8 when Ezekiel Elliott has less than 75 yards in a game.
Okay.
And if you want a quarterback that can play and they shut down your run game, you have to be able to get a pass game going.
Okay, and I mean, I don't fully agree with you, but at the same time, there is a stat that says that the Dallas Cowboys are the richest team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they can pay out people.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that they're not going to pay up somebody this next. I mean, it might not be this season, but give them one more season when they still have Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and that crazy defensive line. It's going to be hard for them if they get one more player. You will expect them. Right now, they are a great team. Obviously, the other night was not what they expected or what they wanted for, but I mean, they're a great team. They need one more playmaker to do what they want to do.
I do think so. But I think he can.
Yes.
I honestly think this. He can. Granted, what I said before, I think he can lead them to a Super Bowl, but he needs, like what you said, that one more playmaker on his team to help him out.
I mean, it can be in any position. Obviously, offensively, they're about set.
Yeah. But
defensively, Leighton Vander Esch is probably the best linebacker. I'm thinking a safety. A safety that, I mean, like a Jalen Ramsey. If they can put Jalen Ramsey in there, it would be really, really hard for them to not win the Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah.
That's a pretty interesting topic there. Quarterback issues. Who's the guy for South Dakota State University? I mean, Larsh and I, our plan is to go to the NDSU versus SDSU game here shortly. Who is the guy?
I don't know. I've seen so many articles. A local newspaper, okay, the Mitchell Daily Republic, talking about how bad who they talk? Keel Nelson?
Yeah.
Is that what they're talking about? They're talking about how bad he's been playing. But he's actually been playing good. And that's a local newspaper bashing a local guy, and I just don't understand it. So I think it's either him. I honestly think it might be him.
I think it is too, but I seen something. I mean, obviously, this is hobo days for South Dakota State this week. Jadarius Webb's the guy. That's how it's going to be. I think Nelson, obviously, the senior coming in, but Jadarius Webb, the freshman for South Dakota State, is probably going to be the guy because he is more athletic. I'm not saying he's smarter than Nelson, but on the football field, smarts and athletics, I mean, if you're athletic, it's up here. If you're smart, it's down here. There's really a difference. So I think Webb takes the job for most of the year after this. I mean, obviously he was injured in the previous game, so they'll be a team to look out for in the FCS.
Yep.
Our next one.
Hey, Dawson, if you press the power button, it turns on. It's on the front. No. Yeah, right there. That one.
Sorry about that. We're
Yeah,
having
that one. That's the power button. There we go.
Having a little bit of issues back there. All right, our next topic is: can the Twins actually make a run at the World Series?
If their starting pitchers decide that they want to pitch good, yes. I think that's been their one issue this year, and why they haven't been completely destroying people is because their starting pitching, their bullpen is fantastic. I can't say enough about their bullpen. Their starting pitching has been their biggest issue. I mean, they obviously set the record for home runs this year. What was it, 400 and...
A lot.
God, I don't know how many it was. But they're going to have a tough test. They play the Yankees in the first round.
So, here's my take on it. Teams come into the postseason one of two ways. They come in fired up, wanting to go out, win this thing, and they coast through the first two, and then it starts getting a little harder because the teams play better too. And then you can play up here, you can play down here. The second way, come in, coast, play like you did in the regular season, and not win a game.
Yeah.
So that could be the way the Twins play, or it could be the first way. The Twins could either come out, hit 2 home runs in the game, and win 5-0, or they end up losing by 3 because they aren't coming out with fire.
Yeah.
So I mean, postseason baseball is fun to watch because everyone tries a lot harder because obviously
it means a lot more now.
It does. And the postseason is a sprint. The regular season is a marathon.
It is. Yeah.
It has to be. It has to be harder. It has to be better because you're gonna get the whole off season to do whatever else you want to do. I think the Twins can make a run at this thing.
I honestly think they can. There's 2 ways you can play a game. Like last year, in the 3rd round of the football playoffs, the Mount Vernon Playing Titans, we were playing Bridgewater Emory, and we played scared that we were going to lose. And I think that was our biggest downfall in that game.
And it was. I mean, and then this year we played Bridgewater Emory. We thought we had a flying chance and we could beat them. And you know what happened? We ended up losing by 5.
So you can play 2 ways. You can play scared to lose, or come in thinking you can beat them and play your guts out. So
I think we're gonna do probably 2 more here, 2 more, and then we're gonna head out here for the day. Oh, we did that one.
We got that one about 4 times. I think it wants us to do it again.
Cleveland and Browns play calling.
All right, this was from last week. Yeah,
we probably want to get rid of this one.
Yep.
Because we kind of already went over.
Yeah,
this.
we kind of already talked about the Browns enough.
Alrighty, we are running out of things to talk about. Okay, top 3 college players that are draft eligible. The top 3 college players that are draft eligible in football wise. My 3 have to be. See, Tua is a junior; he's eligible. I think Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Sam Ehlinger, because for this reason. Jonathan Taylor is probably the best player in college football, but he's a sophomore. Sophomores aren't eligible.
Yep.
And one other thing I want to talk about. I mean, you can state your opinion here, but one other thing I want to talk about after you get done is why college basketball players can be a one and done, and football players have to play for 2 years.
I actually do agree with you. All 3 of them, Tua, and Sam Ehlinger, and all the others, and I'm just gonna touch on that for a second. I think it's a whole different culture.
Yes.
To me, between college basketball and college football, like a lot of college basketball, you play, you're gonna play your 1 year, and if you play good, you're going to the NBA.
Yep.
This one is, if you want to take your freshman year to get good, and then play your sophomore, junior year to show everyone that you can play for 2 years or even 3 years at your best, then you can get drafted. And that's just my take on it. It's a whole different culture.
A lot of
basketball.
A lot of kids come in and play their 4 years. There's not a lot of kids that come in and play college football for 3 years. There's a lot of kids that do 4 years.
Yeah, they just go through all 4 of them because.
Yep. So I mean, that's just another thing we can talk about too. We can go on for that for a long time and the pros and cons of that. All right, last one here before we head out, and it's going to be: is Jalen Hurts the comeback player of the year in college football? Obviously, last year, I mean, he didn't play a lot last year. He played some last year for Alabama, but he wasn't the guy. Now, at Oklahoma, he's the guy. Is he the comeback player of the year?
I think his level of play hasn't changed. He's just the guy now.
Yes.
That's honestly my opinion on it, is that he's playing the same that he would have last year at Alabama. He's just now, he's QB1.
Yep.
And that's why he's getting all this more attention and people are paying attention to him more, is because he's the guy.
Yep. I mean, the way I look at it is he's got a lot of the same targets as, for instance, Baker Mayfield probably had when he was. I mean, he had one wide receiver that Baker Mayfield had. Kyler Murray had almost all of the wide receivers there, other than Marquise Brown, who plays for the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson has him now. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a lot of good targets to throw to, and hence his 485 yards he put up last week and 5 cumulative touchdowns. So,
yeah.
I mean, the guy's not bad at all. I mean, I don't see him as a comeback player of the year, but I see him as a Heisman candidate. I mean, as you said, his level of play hasn't changed. It's just that he hasn't played.
He's the guy now. Like, he's actually playing.
Yes.
So, comeback player of the year, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And if you were to name a comeback player of the year, there isn't really a guy that stands out.
I don't really, no. There really isn't. I mean.
All right.
Yeah. So we're in agreement there.
Yeah.
So.
Couldn't really dispute that. Alrighty. Well, thanks guys for watching, and hopefully we can do this segment again next week.
That was fun.